They cut all this from one map? Today we're diving into the leaked Black Ops 3 development documents to uncover the cut side Easter eggs for Revelations, the grand finale of the Black Ops 3 Zombies saga. Our video explored the cut main quest and ending, showing how ambitious Revelations was meant to be for the Ether storyline, but the documents also revealed a ton of side Easter eggs that never made it into the final game that we didn't have time to cover. They're packed with creative mechanics, cosmic horror, and gameplay that could have made this map absolutely legendary. Now, we did make a video back in the day on a load of cut Easter eggs for the map about a year after its release, such as the famous Chicken Strike quest, but all of that was just based on data mining and leftover strings or images in the files, as well as traces physically in the map itself. So if you want to check out that old video, it will be linked below. But this video will be the documents. A lot of the cut Easter eggs, such as the Chicken Strike, are not ever mentioned in the documents for whatever reason, so they don't provide any new insight on them that we didn't already know. This isn't that these Easter eggs are necessarily fake or leftover or misinterpreted strings or whatever, since there's a boatload left on the Chicken Strike, so it was definitely something planned, but it just means the documents don't outline everything. Whoever's hard drive leaked is just one person from Treyarch, so they won't have access to every single document or idea ever concepted. And to be honest, some things likely went into development without ever being properly documented as well. Anyway, with that clarity out of the way, let's jump into these lost treasures and see what could have been. Original power quests. Let's start with the power system for the Revelations map. In the final game, turning on the power involved a holdout at each of the Apothicon generators, but the leaked documents reveal a far more intricate setup that was scrapped. The map featured multiple islands inspired by classic zombies maps like Mob of the Dead, Shangri-La, and Nocturne Toten. Each island was planned to have a unique power activation method, turning the process into a series of engaging side quests. For the Mob of the Dead cell blocks and Ruby Rabbit area, players would need to zap 3 1960s style generators in a specific order while in beast mode, following glowing power lines to hit all 3 within a tight time limit. That reminds me, most of the documentation here references beast mode in one way or another. It seems that for a good chunk of Revelations' development, beast mode was intended as a core feature. The idea of seeing the Premise crew become the beast in the way that the Shadows of Evil crew did feels odd, but would have definitely given them some interesting banter opportunities. In the Verrucht and Shino Numa section, it was simpler, a single generator with a power switch hidden in the chaotic Verrucht layout. The Kino der Toten, Footlight, and Shangri-La islands relied on activating multiple solar panels to harness the energy of the 115 sun, using its infinite power for energy. For Nocturne Toten, you could either buy a Nickelodeon-style generator, or hunt down 3 hidden fuses across the island. The devs seemingly never decided which before cutting these power quests entirely. The documents go way deeper than these core ideas, with less fleshed out plans as well. One concept had players scavenging for pieces of a broken power switch scattered across the map, assembling them to activate the power. Another involved a shooting gallery minigame where you'd shoot targets in a specific order to unlock a switch. There were plans for collecting fuses to place in various fuse boxes, but these would lose power after a set time, forcing you to keep hunting for replacements. You'd also have to maintain power lines connecting the islands, as zombies could destroy them, cutting power to downstream areas. One of the most bizarre concepts was a zombie hamster wheel. You'd kite zombies into it, and they'd run to generate power. There was even a beast mode speedrun challenge to reach power switches in time, turning power activation into a high-stakes movement puzzle. These mechanics would have transformed powering up the map into a dynamic, replayable side quest, far more involved than the final version's Apothicon generator holdouts. Each island would have felt like its own mini-adventure, with challenges tailored to its theme. The hamster wheel idea alone captures the wild, quirky creativity that defines zombies. The time constraints likely forced Treyarch to simplify things, but these concepts show how much depth they wanted to bring to the table. Sometimes, though, these cuts are good, as perhaps all this work to simply turn on the power may have felt like too much. The Dark Dimension. Next, let's explore the cut cross-dimensional gameplay. Revelations was set to feature a parallel dimension where players could jump between the main map and an alternate reality via portals. These mechanics were woven into side Easter eggs that require players to coordinate across dimensions to solve puzzles and unlock rewards, creating a mind-bending layer of complexity. Players would use specific set pieces or portals to enter the alternate dimension, a darker, corrupted version of the map where zombies were 10 rounds stronger, making every fight more brutal. The special perks and stationary turrets were exclusive to this dimension, offering powerful tools at a higher risk. One puzzle involved a bridge visible only in Dimension B, where players in Dimension A had to follow a ghostly projection of their teammate to cross it safely. Another had players in Dimension A pushing markers with specific symbols to make doors appear for players in Dimension B. There was also a concept for 3 doors, one good, Too bad, where only players in the alternate dimension could see which was safe, guiding their teammates to the right choice. Beast Mode played a huge role in these puzzles. You could use it to hold doors open for teammates, unlock exclusive speedrun paths, or wall run to portal locations only the Beast could reach. One mechanic let Beast Mode players activate teleporters to move the team between islands, tying dimension hopping to map traversal. Time-based co-op puzzles were also planned, where a player in the main dimension could trigger an event, giving their teammate in the alternate dimension a short window to act. For example, destroying a wall in Dimension A could open a new path in Dimension B, or toggling environmental elements like candles or counterweights could disable traps in other areas. These interdimensional puzzles were designed to make teamwork feel essential, with players in different realities directly impacting each other's gameplay. Solo players could still tackle them by presetting triggers, but the co-op potential was huge. Most of these ideas were cut, likely because coding 2 fully realized versions of the map was too complex. The final game opted for simpler mechanics, but these puzzles show how Revelations could have pushed the dimension hopping concepts from Shadows of Evil and Mob of the Dead to new heights. Kill the Sky Apothicons. The Apothicons, those massive tentacled cosmic beasts, were central to the main quest, but the side Easter eggs involving them were some of the most imaginative content in the documents. These quests focused on luring, trapping, and entering both male and female Apothicons to complete objectives like accessing the Pack-a-Punch machine, and they were packed with wild ideas. For the female Apothicon, players could build a harpoon gun from parts scattered across 4 islands, then use it to pull her down and zip line along the harpoon line to enter. Another method involved collecting fuses to power a Tesla trap that shocked her into submission, allowing players to climb inside, seemingly evolving into what became the actual Pack-a-Punch process in the map. One insane idea had players kiting zombies into a trap that launched them into space, where the female Apothicon would eat them until she burst open, granting access. There was also a plan to free trapped interdimensional priests by giving them special items, which would summon the female Apothicon into the playspace. Other concepts involved destroying 115 shards to attract her, playing music on a record player to lower her guard with pheromone glands, or using an Apothicon translation machine to talk to her and lure her down. The male Apothicon had equally outlandish mechanics. Players could craft a horn to mimic the female's mating call, baiting him into a trap. In Beast Mode, you could lead him to a specific spot or use a Hydra head to freeze him in place. One idea let players control the female Apothicon like a remote hijack to fly near the male and lure him down. Another had players place female Apothicon essence on an altar surrounded by chain traps, which would ensnare the male when he approached. Entering him was its own challenge. Some methods had him sucking up players and zombies into his mouth, clearly becoming the other half of the actual Pack-a-Punch sequence in the map, revealing a teleporter, or requiring players to escort a large bomb to him while teammates defended them. These Apothicon side quests were high-risk, high-reward challenges that leaned hard into the map's Lovecraftian horror. Most were cut or simplified, likely because they demanded too many resources to implement fully. The final Pack-a-Punch process was much less involved, but these ideas show how Revelations could have been a cosmic nightmare in the best way possible. Secret weapon quests. The weapon side Easter eggs were a highlight of the documents, with multi-stage quests to unlock powerful Tier 1 and Tier 2 weapons. Let's dive into the ones that didn't make it into the final game, focusing on the non-Dark Arena content since a lot of that was highlighted in our previous video, which I will link on screen and in the description. Feed the Apothicons. This Tier 1 quest had players hunting a red wasp that dropped a nectar ball when shot. You'd place the nectar on one of 3 feeder tables on Sheffield Island to attract a baby Apothicon. Shooting the Apothicon after it ate the nectar caused it to explode, spawning an angry Margwa. Killing the Margwa drops a key, and collecting 3 keys unlocks a sword from a trapped Apothicon. This quest blended exploration, combat, and timing, but it was likely cut for being too intricate compared to the final game's simpler weapon mechanics. Invisible Zone. This Tier 2, unclear what that means, quest involved finding invisible pockets of space that pulsed and shook when entered. In Beast Mode, you'd locate an altar in the pocket and zap it open to a rift in the interdimensional zone, where a ritual rewarded a weapon. This challenge of spotting these hidden zones and the Beast Mode requirement made this a unique movement puzzle. Bowie Blast. On Temple Island, players would use a thunder gun to blow zombies into a hellhound head, which ate 10 of them and spits out a lantern. This lantern reveals a secret chamber inside a trapped Apothicon, which you'd slash open with a Bowie knife to trigger a zombie wave. Surviving the wave earned a weapon from the chamber, with 4 lanterns to collect. This multi-part quest combined environmental interaction and combat, offering a potential reward for every player. Toxic Takeaway. Killing toxic zombies dropped toxic hearts, which you'd feed into a hole inside a trapped Apothicon. Each heart triggered a wave of AI enemies, and after 4 hearts, the hole drained a liquid tube, lowering a special weapon. This repeatable challenge balanced risk and reward, but it likely ended up reused as the Apothicon egg step in the main quest. Beast Quest. This Tier 2 quest, still unclear what that means, had players collecting 4 weapon pieces, each only visible and accessible in Beast Mode on different islands. You'd take each piece to a specific Tesla coil to activate it, and once all 4 were powered, a beam shot into the sky, angering the Apothicons and spawning meatball waves and 2 Margwas. Defeating them pulled the weapon from the sky. The heavy Beast Mode reliance and multi-stage coordination probably made this too complex to keep once Beast Mode was cut. Chase the Mist. Players chase a blue mist across jump pads, following its trail to complete a circuit of the map. Success opened a portal to the interdimensional zone, where you'd shoot holographic weapon pieces with an ID gun to collapse the zone and return to Sheffield Island. There, you'd fight intense zombie waves on a power pad as the weapon lowered into reach. Leaving the pad reset the quest, adding high stakes. Jump Pad Shootout. Players shoot specific weapon pieces hovering along jump pad paths, collecting them upon landing. Using the pieces on the correct island altars spawn Margwas, and defeating all 4 grants the weapon. The Switcheroo and Packing the Mystery Box. These quests focused on the mystery box. In the Switcheroo, using the ID gun moved the mystery box to the alternate dimension, where it appeared in the main world with Tier 1 weapons. In Packing the Mystery Box, shooting the box with the ID gun sent it to the alternate dimension as a portable mini-box, which you'd take to the Pack-a-Punch machine for 10,000 points to pack all of its weapons. These were likely cut to simplify the mystery box mechanics and save time for Chronicles development. Metroidvania Redux. Players use a Bowie knife to chop through distinct overgrowth on the map, revealing power-ups, zombies, or special Tier 1 wall buys. This scavenger hunt encouraged exploration, but may have been too much work for the quick turnover time on Revelations. Creepy Crawler and Ghost Hunter. In Creepy Crawler, you'd lure a crawler zombie into a tunnel to retrieve a weapon piece. It's unclear exactly how it would have gotten it for you. In Ghost Hunter, a Beast Mode player followed a ghost to a secret location, meleeing a beast box to claim a weapon piece after 4 repeats of these actions. Bubble Shoot and Light Beams. Bubble Shoot had players shooting interdimensional bubbles to make them grow and pop, opening new paths to a weapon after multiple repetitions. Once again, the ideation documents are unclear on exactly how it would do this. Light beams involved planting a shield to deflect a Tesla tower beam into a weak spot, revealing a weapon piece, repeated 4 times. The documents also include a variety of standalone mechanics that acted as mini Easter eggs. Traps like the Apothicon Tentacle Trap and Sticky Trap slowed or converted zombies, while the Crawler creator turned them into crawlers for usage in holding zombies or side Easter eggs. Puzzles included a centrifuge wall run with moving obstacles and low-gravity jumps to new locations. A friendly AI, similar to Zetsubo's Cut Sloth, could unlock special areas, and cause and effect zombies triggered events like explosions when kited to specific spots. A personal AoE buff and an Uber slot machine for high-tier weapons in late rounds were also planned. These small additions added flavor, but were likely cut for reasons we can discuss before we end the video. Why did these get cut? The main reason these incredible side Easter eggs didn't make it into Revelations was likely rushed development. Jason Blundell mentioned in interviews that Revelations and Gorod Krovi were being finalized simultaneously during the marketing push for Gorod Krovi. In hindsight, we know this was because Treyarch was already working on Zombies Chronicles, an unannounced 5th DLC that remastered classic maps. To make time for Chronicles, Revelations was pushed across the finish line quickly, leading to the axing of many ambitious features. The Apothicon interiors, interdimensional puzzles, and complex weapon quests would have required significant resources to implement, and with the team stretched thin, they likely prioritized the main quest and core gameplay to meet deadlines. We also see that at some point during development, they hit the memory limit and had to start cutting stuff. Some elements were repurposed, but the full scope of these side quests was left behind. These cut side Easter eggs paint a picture of Revelations that could have been the most ambitious zombies map ever. The varied power mechanics, cross-dimensional puzzles, cosmic Apothicon battles, and multi-stage weapon quests could have made every game a treasure hunt with endless replayability. The zombie hamster wheel, Apothicon zip lines, and dimension-hopping teamwork could have set Revelations apart as a pinnacle of zombies' creativity. While the final map remains a fan favorite, these lost features reveal a vision of unmatched depth and imagination. Perhaps the ambition was simply too great, and many of these ideas would have never made it into the map regardless of dev time. What do you think? Would these side Easter eggs have made Revelations the ultimate zombies experience? The idea of kiting zombies into a hamster wheel or ziplining into an Apothicon is so wild, it's hard to believe it was planned. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you want more deep dives into Black Ops 3's cut content, hit the subscribe button to watch the next one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Now to hand it back off to TGR.
To conclude this video, I want to shout out the fact that I finally decided to make a Patreon and Cameo account, both of which will be linked below if you want to help support the channel. On Patreon, you can sign up for the lowest tier of just $1.50 a month to get exclusive access for my Discord, where we can discuss zombies lore, trivia, or whatever you desire. A place where you lot, my community, can better connect. Your names will also appear at the end of videos thanking you. For $5.50 a month, you get all of that, and I will be doing exclusive monthly Q&As. And for $16.50 a month, you again get all of that, and I will be doing exclusive lore videos, such as unpacking niche parts of the Treyarch documents I've been breaking down on my channel that don't as much suit a main channel video. For the highest tier, only for those with the ability to and who really want to help out the channel, you get special bonuses I've yet to determine and verbal shoutouts at the end of every video. Over on Cameo, I can do funny videos reading lines from zombies, memes like how do we tell him, birthday wishes for friends or family, or whatever else you desire, practically anything. Of course, none of this is necessary, just watching and enjoying the videos helps me immensely and I greatly appreciate it. However, I think it's about time I start setting up additional revenue streams because Zombies' popularity is tumultuous and always goes through ups and downs. As I'm sure you've lately seen on the channel, viewership is down a lot. We go through big highs when new games release, but then during these drought periods, I need more income stability so I don't have to worry as much about it and I can focus more on improving the quality of the content. My highest quality videos are not always the ones that best please YouTube algorithms, so instead, this way I can produce my best work knowing I don't have to think as much about how well the content's going to perform. So if you'd like to support me on Patreon for exclusive content or would like a simple Cameo message, you can do so to further support me via the links below, but only if you can afford it and you actually want to help me. Don't feel like you are forced to, don't worry, I'll survive. It would just help relieve some of the pressure during inconsistent periods on the channel so I don't have to solely rely on AdSense revenue and still maintain the sheer quantity and quality of content that I put out. Obviously I pump out literally a boatload of content and some of these are absolutely crazy projects over hour-long videos, so it's a lot on my plate, especially when these videos don't perform particularly well. And I've not been doing many sponsorships lately to help supplement revenue either, so it would greatly help. Thank you for any generous person once again who does kindly support the channel. It means the absolute world and will really help keep this boat afloat.